Okay, so our craft for today is hanging up behind me. If you guys can see it, I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone. Let's see. Where is it? There's the other. Here it is. Okay, so everybody can see it. We're good to go. Okay. So everybody has your stick? Yay! All right. And does everybody have yarn or do we have string? Show me what you're using to put it together. Okay, ribbon, we got yarn. You got ribbon. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So the first thing we'll do is, does everybody want to kind of do what we have, or just we'll do it the way I'm doing it, and then if you want to change yours, you can change yours. You don't have to do it the way I did it. You can make big fish, little fish, you can make stars, you can make moons, you can make anything you want. Foxes. Very cool. Okay. So the way I started was to take my egg carton.
Well, you're freezing, Lisa.
Oh, am I? My phone is ringing. I don't know if that's messing it up.
Oh. Well, now
Okay.
you're okay.
I'm okay now? Okay, so I have my egg carton. You have paper egg carton? You shaking your head. What's that? Wait.
You're frozen.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, now you're not.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Nika.
Hi. Okay.
Okay. So we need a hand signal for when I'm frozen. Do this.
Okay. All right, so we have egg carton.
Okay. So here's our egg carton, and we're just going to cut off the top. Just save that because they make great paint palettes. Okay. So we'll just cut out the individual little jellyfish bodies. Yeah, you can use paper or styrofoam. If you want to paint them later on, it is actually easier to use the paper ones, but you can paint styrofoam with acrylic. You just have to be careful and make sure you let it dry. So I'm just cutting off the pieces. Just cut out the individual little cartons. Can y'all see that? It's kind of bright.
Because we're doing it differently. We can do it.
And I'm using kitty scissors, so it can be done with anything.
You're frozen.
Frozen?
Yeah. Oh, no, now you're not. Is it easier to put it down the middle first?
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, do it however you want to do it.
I'm gonna wait. A stick is walking.
And then I like to go around and just give it a little trim around just around the bottom edge. So the open edge, I like to just kind of trim it up until it looks not even, but just kind of nicer, because the scissors leave a little bit of a rough edge. Riley's using little portion cups. You got some pom-poms and the eyes. That looks great. Levi's making one too. He's in front of me. So if you want to just give everybody one little portion so that we can go through how to make that, and we'll give Nika some time to get those cut out. Yeah. Levi, what do you have? Oh, you're putting that together already. Okay, fun.
Turtle, 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 turtle.
Did you make a turtle? Oh, cool. Another thing you can do is use the cartons. So maybe you could use the same portion cup, Riley. And you can put a little pom-pom on the front and little Google eyes, and then cut green paper in little kind of curved triangles to make the feet. So then
For a
you can
turtle,
make
you mean?
turtles.
For a turtle, that'd be a good idea, right? Here's your shark.
Thanks for
All
that
right.
idea.
You're welcome.
Can you hold this?
Mm.
And then I have a whale shark.
Oh, very cool.
I have 3 characters from Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, so yeah.
Awesome. That's good stuff. That's a good movie. We like those.
Well, I liked your underwater one that you made. I thought that was really neat.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
one more little fish.
Fishy, 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 fishy. Where did my other fish go?
Right here.
Okay, so on your egg cartons, once you get those trimmed up on the bottom, if you have a styrofoam one, you can just poke through the top a little hole with a pencil. You probably want to put it down on your table and just poke a hole. If you have the paper one, you might have to use a pair of pointed scissors or a craft knife, but you should probably set it on the table. Adult supervision, there we go. Okay, and then you can get your yarn. And it doesn't really matter how much you pull off, but you probably want to get a good length so that you can decide how long you want it later. Does anybody have beads? Raise your hand if you brought beads. You did? Okay. No beads. Okay, that's fine. So if you had a bead, let me just show you what you could do. And these beads are super cheap. They come in a big pack. I know you can get them at Hobby Lobby. These are straight from 1987, probably. Little pony beads is what they're called. And you can, the yarn just fits right straight through them just like that. But what you want to do first is poke it through. So just lay it over your hole. I know that's kind of hard to see, but it's laying right over the hole. And then I just take the pencil and use it to poke it through. So it comes through the other side. Does that make sense to everyone? Thumbs up, we're good. Okay, and so if you had a bead, this would make it really easy because you just tie the bead on the bottom. If you don't have a bead, you do the same thing, but you'll just have to do you know, 4 or 5 knots to make a good knot so that it doesn't pull through. So there we go. And so then you have your little body for your jellyfish. Then, if you have a hot glue gun, do you have a hot glue gun, or how are you putting yours together? Tape, hot glue gun. Riley has glue gun. Nika, you guys have glue guns? Okay. Glue guns make it really easy. I don't have mine on. So, Levi, the beads are right there. Do you want to, can you plug that in? Right back there where your phone is. Let's see if that will go. No. Okay. All right. We're going to use tape because I did not get an extension cord. But if you have a glue gun, it makes it really easy. You just run one side at a time down here. But before you run your glue gun, you want to get your yarn and you want to cut several lengths of yarn. Again, it does not matter how precise they are because jellyfish tentacles. They're all kind of wild and crazy. But you will use at least 4 links on each side. So what I do is I double them and I grab them down the middle. Now you can grab them like here so that they're uneven, or you can grab them, you know, closer to the middle, whatever you like. And I usually just will just take them after I cut them and I'll lay them kind of already in half down on the table. So that way they're easy to pick up. And so since you have 4 sides and you want to put 4 strings on each side, how many do you need to cut, Riley? You got 4 sides, you got 4 strings on each side. How many do you need to cut?
16.
Woo-hoo! See, math is good. So everybody needs to cut 16 lengths of yarn.
Is that with them doubled, or just like after we double it, do we cut it in the middle?
No, you won't cut it down the middle. You'll just hold it down the middle. So,
Okay.
so you'll need, you can use, you don't have to do it all right now, and you don't have to use 16, but the way I did it, I did 4 on each side, and that was doubled. So it looks like 8 hanging down on each side, but it's 4 links just kind of halved and then glued on.
All right, I got you. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, we'll backtrack a little bit. Oh, let me mute myself again. Sorry.
That's all right. Okay, so if you have a glue gun, are you guys ready for that? Okay, if you have a glue gun, I just run one side and then pick up my 4 and pop them on there. Did you know Hobby Lobby sells these really cool things that go on your fingertips for using hot glue? I don't know what they're called, but they're very cool. But you put them on your fingertips, they're little rubber tips so that you don't burn your fingertips because ow.
Where are they, Lisa? Do you know? Where are they in Hobby Lobby? Are they by that glue?
I think they are. I think they are. I will, I'll look it up later and I will send you, I'll try to send you what they're called. Let me write that down.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because I sometimes burn myself.
Yes, me too.
So what I try to do is get something like a skewer or something so that when I take it and lay it on there, I'll just lay it across and then use that to just push it down so that I don't have to use my fingers. But you gonna take that? Okay, Levi's taking the glue gun. So if you don't have that, you can cut a length of tape. And you can just form them inside of your tape. So there's 2, and there's 3, and then there's 4. And you'll just put them on the inside of one side. So there you go. And then you just keep going all the way around for each side. So is everybody kind of clear on how we're doing that? Okay, so I think right now what we'll do is we'll kind of move on to the other steps. So that way y'all can finish putting those together later, but I want to show y'all how to put together the string onto.
Moving to the different.
What's that? Do y'all have a question?
No, I didn't
No.
know we were muted.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody's good. Okay. So I have a little stick here because I figured it would be easier to show you guys what was going on. So we want, before we start putting anything on here, we want to go ahead and put the hanging piece. So I'm using red because I think it shows up. It's easier for you guys to see. So I will usually do 2 or 3 times my arm length like this. Okay. Okay. And then I take a good chunk out and just lay it over one side, just like that. So I've still got all this sitting in my lap here, but I've just got it laid over. And I just have this because this is my tying side. So all I'm gonna do is just tie, I'm gonna tie a knot. I'm just gonna tie a knot, but tie it on one end. So I'm gonna see if I can tie a knot with one hand. No, I'm gonna set it down. Okay. And then I leave the shorter end hanging and just start kind of wrapping. And you want to do it pretty tight. And every once in a while, you want to cross over your hanging piece. So I'm not really doing anything. I'm just bringing it to the other side of the piece that's hanging so that it kind of gets locked inside of there. Everybody's good with that? So then I just kind of keep crossing and crossing and crossing. If you have a nice thick wood stick from a tree, it looks a little better than this, but I got this super little thin skewer here. And then I'll tie another knot, tie that off. And I'll usually, even though I tied another knot, I'll kind of keep going around a few times and working that one back through it. So you can go from wrapping your long end to wrapping your short end. And I cut way, way more than I'm gonna use, but I just like to do it that way so I know I have enough. I don't wanna run out. And it depends on how low you want it to hang once you put it up on the wall. So once you get that side tied off, you'll just go up and decide how much you want it to hang. So it really is going to be your preference, whatever you decide that you want it to look like when it hangs on the wall, you know, 3-4 inches, 6 inches, something like that. So when you get there, pinch it between your fingers, and that's the easiest way to hold on to that. Drop that down and then just wrap it. And every once in a while, you kind of want to make sure that your knot stays on the bottom, so that when you hang it up, it's down. And you're just going to keep wrapping that until you decide, like, that's going to look good. Now I'm going to cut it so that I can continue wrapping and then tie. So I'm just going to wrap. And like I said before, we will bring the hanging part over so that we can lock that in and just wrap that around. Then when you decide that's good enough and your wrap looks good, you'll just tie it. And you want to kind of make sure that your knot goes up towards the top. There we go. And then you can take your safety scissors and cut that. Cut off your excess. Nope, I cut too much. Let me get that back. Hold on, technical difficulties. I'm gonna tie that back up. Da, da, da. Yes. Okay, so now we're good. Everybody's got that part down. Yeah, no. But you understand it and you're good to go, right? Yes. Okay. So at this point, if our jellyfish was done, we would just decide how far we want it to go. So you just pull that on the other side. Decide how low you want it to hang. So I'll pull that up higher. A lot higher. And where you want it to go. When you decide where you want it on your stick, tie it there. I always will sit down and do a little sketch of what I want my final piece to look like before I start. So that way I have an idea. It doesn't always come out looking exactly like what I drew, but at least I have an idea so that I'm not just, you know, throwing it out there. So you could tie your fish on and then cut your excess string. There. And then for the fish or whatever other thing that you want to do, I use cereal boxes or fruit, what are those called? Fruit gummies boxes, whatever kind of box you have laying around. These work great. You just decide what shape you want to do. Open your box completely flat so that way you have a nice surface to work on. That's a lot of space from one cereal box, especially because they only sell mega size cereal boxes anymore, right? Okay, and so you just draw out whatever shape you want. Everybody knows how to draw a fish, right? We're good. Pretty easy. Okay, does anybody
And I
have
also
anything?
drew a turtle and a whale.
Turtles, whales, yeah, he's got it going on over there. So you can draw
Whale
whatever
sharks.
you want. Yeah, and you can decide. I left mine just the cardboard color, but you can take scrap paper and you can Mod Podge it on there, which is basically just a kind of a watered down glue. You can paint them with acrylic paints, probably work the best. Little craft paints. You can do patterns on them with a pen, anything like that. However you want to do it. Did you do any of those? Oh. So you'll just cut your shape, whatever shape you decide you want to do out. And what I do is I cut one out first. Can I have my real scissors back? Oh, no. I'm not going to do this with the little kid scissors because it's too hard. It's too hard to cut straight lines with those scissors. So as far as adhering these to the yarn, I used hot glue. You can tape them on. You can take this once you get your little piece cut out and you can set it back down and trace it as many times as you want. If you use a Sharpie to trace, make sure you do it on the colored side, unless you want the colored side to show. Then you do it on the other side. So you can look on the box and you can say like, oh, that's really cool. I like the way that that part of the box looks. And you can use that as part of your final design. Oh, we got pizza boxes. That's kind of thick. But it works. It works. It's good stuff. Okay. So you can just glue it on. We got just a few minutes left. So we would just glue that on, or you can tape it on. So you just hang it there. If you have a hole punch, you can punch a hole and you can tie it through as well. You can do the same thing if you have a hole punch, and you can punch the hole through it, and you can use the bead on the back side to hold it in place, so you don't have to have you don't have to tie it around the hole. So then we would just tie that on. So we'll just tie that on here next to our fish. And then there's just one more little trick I wanted to show you guys, how to tie on the strings that I put in between. So let me finish tying this on here. There we go. So there's the little mini version there. And then for the other yarn, I like to cut it twice as long as I want and do just like I did with the fish, hold it in half like that. And again, it can be this, you can even it out and do it exactly the same size, or you can do it uneven. And all you're gonna do is you have to make sure you're on the same side. You got to make sure you get the tie string out of your way. But what you're gonna do is you'll hold it up. Everybody see that? I'm just holding it on the back side, and then pull my strings through. I'm gonna pull them up, and then I'm just gonna put them through that loop. So I'm gonna put those two through the loop. You see? All I did was pull them through the loop and then pull it down to the bottom. So then you have two. And you can fill up this top piece if you want to fill it all the way across. It looks really nice to fill it all the way like that. And then you have two coming down for each one. Did everybody understand how to do that? You want to see it again? Everybody, we're good? We're good? Okay. Does anybody want to show anything or ask any questions?
We're almost done.
No,
Awesome.
no,
you're
we're
not.
not.
We just need to make tentacles and make.
Show her how it looks so far.
We only need one more jellyfish and then to get on these little fish.
Those are cool. And you're using pipe cleaners. That's cool too, because those will hang in the same exact place. They won't flow around like the rest of it. That looks really great, guys. What is that kind of shiny? Is that just a flat ribbon, or is that tubular?
This?
No.
This is tubular stuff.
Oh,
I
okay,
found
that's
this
neat.
at the Dollar Tree. Isn't that neat?
Really? See?
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
I like it.
Everybody get your masks and your hand sanitizer and go to the dollar store.
The Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
The Dollar Tree. Yeah, I love the Dollar Tree.
Great craft supplies. Well, I think those look super cool. I might have to try and find some of that and do one with that as well. I was thinking it would look pretty neat to use those fairy lights in the top of the jellyfish, so it would kind of shine in between the tentacles. So this is just a starting point, guys. This is just to show you how you can use very few supplies and most of it recycled or very cheap. And you can just make all kinds of cool things.
Do you want to see our finished product next week?
Sure, I'd
Are
love
we doing
to.
this next week, by the way?
I'm not sure about next week, but probably. I'll see if I can put something together. What do you guys want to do?
Never mind, never mind. Dawn just yelled at me. They won't be here next week.
Okay. Well, if we decide to do one on Tuesday, what do y'all want to do? Drawing or craft?
Yeah, I won't be here next week because I'm going to this place that has a river, and I'm gonna
They're going
enjoy,
camping.
That'll
I'm
be
gonna enjoy
great.
some nature time.
Good. You
Not
do
staying
that.
at the computer all day.
Sounds good. That's awesome. Have
Yeah,
a good
can you
time
tell
with
that's
that.
my mom?
Staying with my mom. Not
Awesome.
staring at her computer all day.
Kylie, Janie, Molly, how about you guys? If we get together next week, do y'all want to do drawing or a craft, or what kind of things do y'all want to see?
Craft. Drawing.
Oh, we want to do all of it.
Drawing.
They will never agree.
Okay. What kind of things do we want to draw?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, okay. All right.
Ooh, maybe like little basic things for drawing fairies or something. I don't know.
Drawing fairies. Basic things for drawing fairies.
Like how to draw wings or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna.
We were
Okay,
making
maybe we can figure out some sort of a craft that would do
Okay,
that you
here.
can incorporate both into drawing and fairies.
Wait.
Fairy craft. Fairy drawing craft. Okay, I'll work on it. It may not be Tuesday.
You could do a craft that
Here you go.
actually we're almost done. Like
No, we're not. We still have to put these on.
A craft that has what?
we only have to.
These things here, these three
I
things
can't
here.
hear you.
That's gonna be easy.
Hot water.
Like a like you could try and make a nightlight using lights, and then you could draw fairies on a paper, cut them out, and paste them or glue them to the light thing.
That sounds really cool. So you're doing class on Tuesday. You're going to show us how to do a fairy nightlight. Yes?
You're in charge, kid.
She's like, no more ideas. Okay, great. That sounds pretty cool. Let me think on that, and I'll get back to you guys, okay? Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Emma.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Oh, that's really simple. Just a lucky charm.